Oh my god, I actually can't believe like the Switch 2 is out and it's right here. Like I have waited so long for this thing. On one hand, it's been like 8 years since the Switch, and on the other, it feels like time absolutely flew in the last month or so. And yeah, I'm super hyped. So the version that I got is the one with Mario Kart, and I highly recommend if you can get your hands on a Switch 2 to get the one with Mario Kart World, because Mario Kart World is cheaper in this bundle. I also got a couple of other things. I picked up Cyberpunk. I just wanted to see what it was like, and I picked up Street Fighter as well. And the reason I picked up Street Fighter is because I want to demonstrate the game keycard ordeal, because I feel like a lot of people have questions about this. And then yes, of course, I did pick up the Pro Controller. I never really played the original Switch docked all that much, so I feel like having the Pro Controller will kind of like entice me to do that. And yeah, I'm super excited. And I want to just talk about the box for a second. If you're familiar with the original Switch, it's very weird because this box on the original Switch OLED is a little bigger, it's a little taller, and like it really isn't even that much thinner considering this has way more in it and the actual console is bigger. I think it's kind of funny that the box is smaller. Let's go ahead and crack this thing open. There's just a little seal here, and then we can... There we go. So inside here we have the actual console itself. So let's put that to the side. And then we have the Joy-Cons. Now I'm really excited about these Joy-Cons because mainly they are just a little bit bigger. They fit my hands better as opposed to the actual Switch. We'll take a closer look at these in just a second, but we have the Joy-Cons themselves. This is the full game download for Mario Kart World. I'm a little sad that it's not a physical copy in the box, but this has just been a thing for a very long time. With the Switch 2, I'm definitely going all physical. I made the mistake of going all digital with the original Switch. You know, it's something that's a little nice. You know, you can look back and say like, yeah, like these are all the games that I have on a shelf. This is the HDMI cable. This looks very identical to the HDMI cable that came with the original Switch, but this will be an HDMI 2.1 cable, so this is going to allow you to actually be able to use VRR and 120 Hertz on a TV. So if you don't have one of these, don't throw this away. This is very important. Now inside here, we actually have, I'm very curious about these. These are like the grips, well, not really grips, but the wrist strap, as well as the actual mouse controller thing. This is really interesting. This is a weird thing that Nintendo has done this generation that I'm very curious to see how it pans out, because I'm down for mouse controls on a Switch. They've just always got these like weird kind of gimmicky things going on, which is kind of fun. And then this is the red one. It looks more like a salmon pink than it does red. This is red. This is like a salmon pink ordeal. I didn't even notice that, but it's kind of funny. Now inside here, this is the actual Joy-Con grip. So this is what's gonna hold the Joy-Cons when you're actually playing on the TV if you don't have the Pro Controller. And with these, they just slot in magnetic. That is actually really nice. Yeah, that's way easier than the other one. It's not gonna scratch up the side. It's not gonna bang up the rail. And then to remove it, you just press this button back here and you pull it away. That is so much easier. I'm so happy Nintendo decided to do this, because this just, can you tell I'm tired? I went to the midnight launch to pick this thing up just to make sure I had one for the morning. Yeah, this is way, 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 way better. It's definitely a little bit bigger as well, since the actual Joy-Cons themselves are bigger. So it does feel like there's more to grip onto. I feel like if you wanted to wait on the Pro Controller a little bit, you probably could, because I think you can get away with using this no problem. This is the new USB-C power adapter. And one thing that I'm noticing already, this is nice. I'm all for this. The actual cable itself is separated from the actual dongle. It's nice on a console like this, especially one that's gonna be seeing a lot of use and get banged up pretty easily. I think having this separated is a good thing, because it just allows you to replace the cable. Of course, USB-C to C, yeah, that's nice to see. And then in here we have the actual dock itself. Now the dock is bigger, obviously, because the console's bigger. It looks kind of weird. Like I'm pretty sure the Switch doesn't even actually sit in it all the way, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it's ventilated pretty nicely. There is a fan inside of here apparently, but there's a little indicator that you're connected to the TV, just like the old one. On the back here, how do we remove this? Oh, it just pops off. You have your HDMI port as well as your power adapter, and you have LAN. I hope this is gigabit LAN or at least more. I feel like Nintendo, when it comes to internet speeds, they kind of just throttle you, but and then there is 2 USB ports on the side, which is nice because they're very easily accessible. Okay, so that's it for what's inside the box. I just want to run you through these quickly just to take a look at them. This is the Pro controller for anyone who's curious. It's actually nice to see them include a cable. It's funny because like even the DualShock controller, like the DualSense 5 for the PlayStation 5, even that doesn't include a cable. So that's it right there. This thing actually feels really nice. Yeah, this thing feels nice. So there's paddles on the back, which will be remappable, and you can bind these to whatever you want. So I use it for like jump and slide, for example, in Call of Duty, but I'll probably do the same thing in something like Fortnite. You got this like gray on the top, which I think looks really sleek. It's weird, it doesn't really match the rest of the console. You have your player indicator, your USB-C, I'm assuming that's a sync button, and then you have plus minus, your home, screenshot button, and then you have your game chat button, because that's a new feature, and then you also have the 3.5mm headphone jack. Here's Cyberpunk, I've already opened this, but you just get stickers. No like manual or anything, unfortunately. No like giant panel over here. I miss when games had some cool stuff to them. So this is what an actual game card looks like. It's all red. It's the exact same size, so they're using the color as an indicator, which is not a bad thing. In my opinion, very clear, but I know some people are gonna mess this up still. And then we have Street Fighter. So this one is a game key card, which means that the actual game itself, it's not on here. Like you have to download it, and this acts as like basically the DRM. There you go. So this is a download code for the DLC, and then this is the actual game key card. So the only difference that I'm seeing is the game key card has a little key on the top right. At least they indicate the difference. So these things, they just pop in, I think. Yep, and then now you have this kind of mouse control thing going on, which I will say is less uncomfortable than I thought it was gonna be. And because these buttons are bigger, this is way more comfortable than using the regular Switch Joy-Cons. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. And then I'm assuming to remove it, you do the same thing. Yeah, cool. It's way easier than the other ones. Okay, so this is the actual console itself. So, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I did actually go through the setup process so that I can speed things up and show you what this is actually like. There you go, that's how they connect. Push this button and it releases them. It's very easy. There's like very little give here. I actually think that this is a really good solution. I think Nintendo did a good job for sure with this. It just seems way better and way easier than the actual Switch was, because with this, you need to like push this little tiny button and slide them up and then like lock them down, and it just kind of weird. And they did have like quite a bit of give to them. So the size, it is bigger. It's actually quite significantly bigger. Funnily enough, I went to the midnight launch to buy this thing so I can secure one for the morning. I have an order from Best Buy that I'm now going to just return. I was going to let my wife keep it. She picked this up this morning. She wasn't a fan of the size. It is bigger. It's significantly bigger if you're so used to this. I can see for people with smaller hands, like this actually might be a little uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong, it is smaller than this right here. This is the new Legion Go S, but like the footprint itself is really not that big of a difference. So I'm very curious to see what this is like for everyone and like what the general consensus is. For me, I think this is way better, but who knows? The analogs have a much bigger throw. They're still like not a full-size analog, which is unfortunate. You have the chat button right there, as well as your home button. You have your capture button. It is still like an individually split D-pad, but that makes sense for when you hold it in horizontal mode. The actual triggers are much bigger. The whole console is the same thickness, so like it's not any thicker or whatever. The weight isn't bad either. This is 401 grams, so it's really not heavy considering like the size difference. And then you have a 7.9-inch 1080p LCD panel with HDR10, and it has VRR, so this is a 120 hertz panel. I'm very curious to see what games will actually be supporting that. And it does have Wi-Fi 6 and whatnot. Downloading games was a lot faster on this thing, thankfully. Yeah, so these are your grills. This is your kickstand. This is where your SD card goes, and then this is where your game card goes. So this feels like a lot more reinforced than before. It's not just like this flappy thing. It's got this like metal piece here that actually sits in nicely. Your exhaust for your fan, volume up and down, power, headphones. You also have a Type-C up here to charge and a Type-C down here to charge and dock, which is really nice. Now I want to take a look at a couple of accessories quickly for the Switch that I think are going to make this system a whole lot better and way more ergonomic and comfortable to actually use. So this is the kill switch from Dbrand for the Switch 2. This thing is basically the best case for the console that you can buy. It has a lot of features that I'll show you in just a second, but this is a really nice hardcover for traveling. It covers your Joy-Cons. It adds some game storage, which we'll take a look at. Overall, it's not very heavy. It's actually very light. It feels really good in the hand. I tried this out earlier and I love it. These are the grips for the actual thumbsticks, which we'll also add on just for extra support and comfort. You have an adhesive cover right here for the dock because the dock is like its own individual piece. Sorry, I meant the kickstand. This is the connector that allows you to use the kill switch with the dock so that you don't need to take it on and off every time you need to use it. And then you get some spare adhesive in case you want to take this off or it needs to be reapplied. And yeah, so that's what's inside there. This is their Prism 2.0 screen protector. I really think you should get a screen protector with the Switch 2 because just like the old one, there is a clear plastic film on it that you can't remove. And that is a shatterproof sort of layer that's on it just in case the screen actually breaks. It's a result of Nintendo using cheap glass, unfortunately. But if you want to protect it, you're gonna need a screen protector, and I would highly recommend getting a tempered glass screen protector. I will show you how to install this thing very quickly. It is super easy. I'm not even gonna read that. It says, I can read instructions. Yeah, I'm not going to. Inside, you also do get another one just in case you mess it up. I feel like you'd have to be pretty dumb to mess it up. Here is the actual squeegee tool, your microfiber, and then you have your cleaning pads. Okay, so to start installing this, I'm gonna throw on this alcohol wipe, get a nice just surface clean, take out the microfiber. And with this, all I'm doing is just wiping the screen. Like, I'm not worrying about any dust here. This installation is actually very easy. You don't need to make sure this thing is spotless. Then you take this is the actual screen protector toolkit, put that on, and then you're gonna pull this thing out from the side. Put some pressure there, back and forth. Any little air bubbles just squeegee out. There you go. It's like actually a perfect install. It's super easy. If you're someone who messes up all the time with screen protectors, I would highly recommend this. They're also just really high quality screen protectors, not just like the cheap $10 Amazon ones that come in a pack of 5 that break after you install them. I'm gonna start with this. It's actually nice to be able to finally put this on it because I've been staring at this thing for so long. So that's the kill switch on the actual Switch 2 itself. And then for the Joy-Cons, you just pop them in. And same thing, it doesn't ruin like the functionality or anything. You can just pop it in and then you take the other one, pop it in. Now you have what I would say is like the adult version of the Switch 2. Way better grip over here, way more comfortable to use in the hand. And like I said, it doesn't really add any weight, so you are actually just getting a more comfortable experience. Since the Joy-Cons are quite small, this does make it a lot better. And you still have functionality with that kickstand. I'm gonna throw on the analog covers. And just like that, they don't interfere with anything. They feel really nice. And then the dock connector, it's pretty self-explanatory. It literally just goes inside the dock. So it uses the USB-C port that's inside, and then the Switch 2 can just dock in like that. This is the actual travel cover for it. So you can put your game cards in here. You literally just pop them in like that, and then you can just take it out same way. And to put this on, you just go triggers first, and boom. There you go. Now you have like a fully protected hard shell case for your Switch that can hold games. You have a screen protector, you have controller grip, you have everything. And yeah, this is way better. If you want to go ahead and check it out, I'll put a link in the video description, but you can go to dbrand.com/jonvaliagas. And just in case you wanted to see like the game boot up sequence and me actually using a game, here is Cyberpunk. And we can just launch it.
Did y'all hear about that Arasaka aircraft carrier?
I have to say, this grip actually makes a huge difference in the way that it feels in the hand from what I was playing earlier. It is like night and day. So yeah, there you go. That's Cyberpunk on the Switch. On the Switch 2. I was playing this earlier. It's actually fantastic. I'm so happy this console is way more powerful. I'm so happy that there's games that, you know, like this that are actually really fun to play on a handheld that I've gotten used to from playing on something like this. So yeah, I'm gonna be uploading a lot more Switch 2 content if you like this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you've watched all the way through, a like and a sub to the channel is always appreciated, and consider dropping a controller emoji if you've made it all the way to the end. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna play it with this, but no, there's a lot to film right now. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.